feels good to be off duty once in a while. Say, have you guys heard about what happened today? Yeah, the Red Scout snuck out of the base to attack a North Korean prison camp by himself. I couldn't really say if he was really brave or really stupid. I would say very stupid. I mean, who would be in their right mind to go and attack a camp crowded with elite soldiers? You would have to be a Rambo or a Doomslayer to pull something that off. Yeah, but the crazy thing is when we arrived, I was expecting the North Korean soldiers to attack us at any moment, but instead, we found them all dead. Holy shit! How was he able to do that? The prisoners mentioned that the Red Scout came out of nowhere with demonic powers and started killing the North Korean guards one by one. They threw everything they had on him, but they were no match for him. The surviving North Korean guards were then butchered by the prisoners. At least the guards got what they deserved, but I wonder what happened to Red Scout.
He was found in the Pokemon storage, unconscious and covered in blood. We also found Pokemon there too, and I did spoke with one of them. They did mention that they were looking after Scout after he fell unconscious, and they consider him to be a hero after he saved them. Anyway, after searching the gulag, we had the prisoners along with the Pokemon moved to Tiberius for medical and physiological treatment. I believe they will get better over time. But as for the Red Scout, he remains unconscious.
Lieutenant, I want a status update on the gulag.
The evacuation is complete. All the troops have been withdrawn. Just waiting on the detonation order.
Hold that detonation. The North Korean reinforcements have just arrived. I first want them to see our little surprise, then blow it up.
What the fuck?
Hell yeah! Nobody fucks with America! And no one fucks with Tiberius either! And the Red Dragon Battalion ain't shit compared to the might of Tiberius! And if we keep this up, we'll be on the streets of Pyongyang waving our flag in no time!
We may have been able to deliver a major blow to the Red Dragon Battalion, but do not underestimate them, Blue Soldier. They are far from defeated.
He's right, laddie. Let's not get overconfident.
How is the arm, Blue Sniper?
A little sore, but I'm okay, mate.
Good, you should still give it some rest before you can go back on the field again.
You should consider yourself very lucky, Sniper, that you didn't end up like Kai.
Yeah, poor little wanker. I should be really sad about what happened to him.
Don't worry about that. Kai is still stable, but he remains in a coma, sadly. And I honestly don't know when or if you will wake up.
Man, I hope Kai is okay.
Me too, Blue Scout, but only Lord Arceus can help him now, and he will. Besides, we have a more pressing issue to take care of now anyway, like what to do with Red Scout.
Tiberius, are you sure that Red Scout should face punishment for his actions? He did kill all the North Korean soldiers and liberate the gulag for us.
But he did also steal the documents that belong to our great leader Tiberius. And he went on a reckless suicide mission to attack the gulag. And it is his fault that Kai got in a coma in the first place. Thanks to him, he needs to answer for his crimes.
And he will, Blue Spy.
Sir, Red Scout is finally awake.
Good. I want him sent to my office immediately along with the Red Team, but make sure the Red Spy arrives to my office first.
Anyways, what happened? And how did you guys find me?
As soon as your father found out that you stole the documents, he warned Tiberius.
He knows, and he is not happy with you, son. It looks like you're in a lot of heat of trouble.
Aw, crap. What happened after he found out?
He made an emergency meeting to start Operation Prison Break early. It was a military operation planned by Tiberius. His objective was to lead a small team to liberate a key town from the Red Dragon Battalion. Our objective is to clear the roads of the North Korean patrols with the Blue Team's help, so the convoy would reach to the gulag safely.
We used the new Abrams X tanks to get the job done. Soldier was the tank commander. Kai was the gunner. Pyro helped with the reloading. Well, Engineer was the tank engineer. I was the driver.
Then they evacuate all the prisoners and Pokemon from the gulag. Then after they did that, Tiberius and the rest of his troops planted bombs in the gulag to set up a trap for the North Korean reinforcements. When they entered, they got blown to frickin' bits. You did America a proud job.
Thanks, soldier. But how's Kai? Is he doing okay?
Red Scout, you have been summoned to the office of Tiberius. He wants you there immediately. And before you ask, your father will be there. And all the Red Team members have been summoned as well. So you guys might as well come with me. The other members of your team will be at the office shortly after. Here is the office. Tiberius will be with all of you shortly. By the way, Red Scout, you and your team will be given a special honor to meet the Angel of War himself.
Who is the Angel of War? And how are you able to think for yourself? Are you an advanced AI or something?
I am afraid I cannot answer the question regarding of the Angel of War. And to answer your other question, yes, I could think to myself. I am a highly intelligent after all.
Can he help me with this blood curse problem?
Yes, he can. Now if you'll excuse me, I have to go.
Apologize now, you snake.
Oh, Jeremy, please. I am so sorry.
Are you really, Dad? Because fuck you! After you left me and Mom all those years ago, and after what happened to me recently, I'm a fucking monster thanks to you!
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hold your horses! What's up with all the ruckus? Well, why don't you ask the snake, engineer, spy? Tell them. Now.
I broke into the temple that belongs to the devil Pokemon Giratina. I stole his artifacts and sold it to the highest bidder. Then I wound up in hell, and I came face to face with the devil himself. And to save my own soul, I made a deal with him in exchange for my son's soul. The curse would be lifted on me, and it would be put upon Scout instead.
How could you do that to your own son?
What dumb son of a bitch! God damn it, Spy! I always know that you're a snake, but this is a new way of going low, you damn snake!
Okay, take it easy, all of you, please! Merci!
Do you ever stop and think how Mom would felt? If she ever knew what you did, she would have been heartbroken!
I know, please. I am so sorry.
I hope I'm not missing anything important, and before you ask, I know all about the blood curse, Giratina, and even the winter cult. Into my office, shall we?
Wait, you know about Giratina, the blood curse, and the winter cult?
Yeah, and I know how to break the blood curse. Allow me to reveal my true form.
Sweet land of liberty and all that is holy!
I am not just any angel. I am the guardian war angel, the chosen one of the Pokemon god Arceus. Arceus is the true god, as he is not just responsible for the creation of existence itself. He is also responsible for the creation of all other Pokemon gods like his three sons, Palkia, Dialga, and Giratina. He is also extremely powerful, and even if his three sons united against him, they would never have a chance of beating him. I will also give you a little secret about Palkia and Dialga. They are ones created the teleporter cube, by the way. There was, however, one thing I deeply hated about those two, and it was the constant arguments that they had with each other, which annoyed the hell out of me and got me extremely frustrated. At times dealing with them was like dealing with two immature children, but ones with godly powers. I think you all get the picture.
How did they lose the teleporter cube?
It was stolen by an unknown thief. At first, we believed it was the work of the Shadow Cult, but fortunately, we were wrong.
Wait a minute. The Shadow Cult? Aren't those the same guys that worship Giratina?
Yes, that is correct, Scout. The evil organization led by Giratina's most powerful and loyal minions. They are also the most powerful out of all the other cults, as they were used by the Shadow Cult as proxies against us in the zombie wars. One of these proxies was the Winter Cult. They gave us a lot of trouble in the past, and before you ask, I do know everything about their leader before he became a cult leader. He used to be an Umbrella scientist who worked on bioorganic weapons for the Umbrella Corporation. After the collapse of Umbrella, he was out of a job and life was very difficult for him. That was until he was recruited by the Shadow Cult organization. After joining them, he was able to learn how to use dark magic. Then over time, he mastered the dark arts to become a powerful necromancer capable of summoning his own army of the undead. He was even capable of summoning demons. After he acquired all of knowledge, he needed to use his dark powers. He started the zombie apocalypse, which brought devastation, death, and destruction to the world. We were the first to respond to the zombie threat, as we were able to organize a strong defense against the zombie hordes that threatened to overrun the cities. We were humanity first and last line of defense. We did take the worst of it, but we were able to successfully prevent the collapse of human civilization. We were still, however, fighting a long war against our enemies. But we eventually won. Now about the evil medic long ago. He put me and my men through hell in the zombie wars. He did not just send zombies after us. He sent bioweapons after us. He even sent demons against us. But none of them had any chance of defeating me. So when he realized I would be more than capable of destroying them with ease, he made a special bioweapon called Nemesis equipped with demonic powers with the sole purpose of destroying me. I gotta give him credit, however, he surely gave me one hell of a challenge. In the last days of the zombie wars, our mission was to destroy the Shadow Cult, while our allies in the United States military finish off what remained of the Winter Cult. Our mission was successful. We were able to destroy most of the Shadow Cult, but their core leadership escaped before we could finish them off and went into hiding. We have been so far unsuccessful with finding them.
I did talk to Tony, and he mentioned that you told them about the Winter Cult, that they were after the teleporter cube. Is that true? And what could they possibly want with it?
It is true they were after it. As for what they planned on doing with Teleportal Cube, I personally believe they planned on using it to free Galatina from his prison, as the Teleport Cube would be capable of teleporting a Pokemon god.
Well, that explains a lot why you beat the crap out of Tony and kidnapped my stepdaughter just to prevent the return of the demon Pokemon. I mean the devil. And I say to you, my good friend, I'm in loss for words.
Now everyone except Scout, Medic, and Spy. Dismiss.
I got a question. After the zombie apocalypse ended, did you ever try finding the surviving members of the Shadow Cult?
We did try to find them, but with no success, so I had to look into the only lead we got. The formal leader of the Winter Cult, who is locked up in one of the most secured prisons in the Milky Way galaxy. So we demanded that the government delivered the prisoner straight to us, but they refused, so I had to come up with a plan to infiltrate the prison and get the intel. But by the time we got there, he was already dead. Probably had his soul consumed by the devil Pokemon, but we did look into the dossier of all of the prisoners before we could execute our secret mission into the prison. And there was one prisoner I considered to be a major threat if he escaped.
And who was this target?
I knew he would become a major threat if he escaped, so that is why I didn't go alone on that mission, as I had plans to have him assassinated. That is why I brought Duke Nukem and Hank with me on that mission. Their objective was to kill Mikhail. Well, I got the intel from the ex-cult leader and kill him, then break Blue Heavy out and reunite the Blue Team and recruit them. But things didn't go according to plan. As we already know, the cult leader was already dead before I could interrogate him, and Mikhail found out about my plot to have him killed. So he basically used a flash grenade to blind Hank and Duke Nukem, then escape on a space shuttle. But not everything was a complete failure. I was able to break out of the prison and join the Blue Team, and I became the leader later on. A few months after the prison break, Blue Spy found a warehouse full of chemical weapons, so we launched a surprise attack, eliminating most of the terrorists and capturing the remaining ones for interrogation. After returning to our secret safe house, we started interrogating the terrorists in hopes of finding out who is responsible for this act. Then we later found out it was the work of the Neo-Soviet Union to weaken the United States and its allies. Alright, moving on to the next subject. Now about Giratina. He was created by his father Arceus to control antimatter, and he is more powerful than his two brothers. Arceus vanished his son Giratina mainly because of his dark, violent, and destructive nature. He recognized how much of a threat his son was, and how he could bring death, destruction, and chaos to the world. That is why he was vanished. Now as for the blood curse, there are a couple of ways to remove it. My lord Arceus can free you from the blood curse. His two sons, Palkia and Dialga, can also free you from it as well. But it would have to take their combined power to break the blood curse. There is also a third option. You make a deal with Giratina to lift the blood curse. Well, it's true that Giratina is indeed a very violent and destructive Pokemon. God, he does, however, love make deals, and he will honor them if you honor them as well.
Giratina told me about a high-ranking North Korean general that has been trying to track us down and destroy all of us and our headquarters to get his revenge against us for killing his son. And Giratina offered to remove my curse in exchange for his soul.
Thank you for telling me this, and don't worry about the North Koreans. I already have plans to deal with them as well as to deal with their general. And I am always 2 steps ahead of them, so no need to worry, everyone is safe. But there is, however, one more issue: what to do with you. I am disappointed that you stole my documents and went on a reckless suicide mission to attack the North Korean gulag. But I am pleased that you have been able to liberate the camp and free all of the prisoners, and they all consider you a hero. I am going to have you suspended from active military duty until further notice, and besides, if you choose to honor your deal with Giratina, you are going to need someone to train you on how to use your powers. And just in case that you don't do any more reckless suicide missions behind anyone's back, you will be under close surveillance, and you will be under house arrest. So the only 2 places you can go is the Screaming Eagles base and Tiberia. The reason why I'm suspending you, Red Scout, is because I believe you should take a nice long time to think about how reckless actions and poor decisions can affect you and those around you. Did you ever wonder what would happen if you did not have the blood curse and if your father didn't warn us in time? The blood curse saved your life. Without it, you would have been gunned down by North Korean soldiers patrolling the prison camp. It was you against our army. You would have had no chance of defeating them all on your own, and if your father didn't warn us in time, you could have been captured by the North Koreans and brutally interrogated. So basically, you should count yourself lucky. But you should also take into account that a single poor decision can put not just yourself in danger, but put your friends and loved ones in danger as well, like what happened to Kai.
Wait, what happened to Kai? Is he okay?
On the way back to Tiberia, a surviving North Korean soldier attacked the Red Team tank with a rocket launcher. Kai was critically injured. Half his face was burned, and he fell into a coma. He is currently recovering in the hospital.
Oh no.
First, they killed my mom. And now, my best friend is in the hospital. Because of them, I won't rest until North Korea is completely destroyed and Kim Jong-un is fucking butchered and his corpse mutilated.
Calm down. When we get our hands on Kim Jong-un, we will not just humiliate him. We will make sure he suffers as much as possible, and everyone will have their turn to torture him before I butcher him and leave his mutilated corpse on the streets of Moscow for everyone to see. That is a promise. But don't worry about Kai. Lord Arceus can hear him, but as for your father, it's going to be up to you to find it in your heart to forgive him for his past actions.
I choose to honor my deal with Giratina. The North Koreans need to pay for what they have done, and I won't rest until justice is served.
Very well, but if you change your mind, you know where to find me. Anyway, I must go now to inform Lord Arceus of the recent developments, and we will make sure Kai is healed.
Dad, we need to talk.
Jeremy, I am truly sorry for what I have done. I would have probably given up my soul for you, for your soul, to be free, instead of mine.
Don't, Dad. I don't want to lose you like I lost Mom. And what Tiberius said was true. If it wasn't for the blood curse, I would probably already dead or tortured. If he didn't warn Tiberius, I would have probably been captured by the North Koreans.
Will you forgive me, son?
I'll forgive you. And I'm sorry for flipping you off earlier.
Hi, Jeremy.
Rebecca? What are you doing here?
I thought I would come by to see how are you doing. And take some time to talk. If you don't mind.
Honestly, I could really need someone to talk right now. Sure.
Are you doing okay?
I'm not doing very okay, Rebecca. especially after what happened to Kai. I am worried about losing him, just like I have lost my mother. I don't want to lose him too. He's one of the reasons why I'm better. I wish I was there to save him. Just in time. It's all my fault that he's into this mess in a coma. I don't know what to do. I'm just so sorry, and I'm worried if he dies, I don't know what to do.
Jeremy, don't cry. Everything will be fine. Arceus, our savior, will help him. I just know it.
I really hope so. If I could talk to him, I would beg for him to help Kai right now, but there's also another reason why I'm so upset right now. I still cannot believe my own dad made a deal with Garatina just to save his own ass. That's a lot worse than when he left me and my mom. Which, you probably already know, back in Tiberius' office, right?
I know. I was there. What an asshole.
Indeed. He was. My mother had to raise me all by herself. It wasn't easy, but I know she did everything she could to make sure I live a happy life. And a prosperous one, too. Then later on, as I got older, I eventually became a mercenary and got a job at Manco. I even dated Miss Pauling once.
You used to date Miss Pauling? What happened? Did she cheated on you on someone?
Yeah, I used to date Miss Pauling. When I found out that she was cheating on me with another mercenary, I was devastated and depressed for a long time.
My God, I'm really sorry, Jeremy.
Thanks, Rebecca. But don't worry. What happened between me and Miss Pauling, it has been done with and over with. And it's behind me now. It is long behind me for a long time.
You're welcome. But what are you going to do about your father?
I know that Dad wasn't the best, but if he didn't make that deal with Garatina, I would have probably been dead and you would have never seen me again. But if he didn't warn Tiberius, I could have been captured by the North Koreans. Who knows what they would do to me if they captured me. Despite everything Dad has done, I know he is really trying hard to be a better father and a good person in general. And he was there for my mother before she died. I forgive him. For now.
Well, that's very good that you have been able to find the strength to forgive your father. At least you still have a family. Unlike me.
Wait, did something bad happen to your family?
My father used to be in the United States Army. He was a U.S. Army Ranger.
Wow. A U.S. Army Ranger? That sounds pretty badass.
His name was Johnny D. Jackson.
Wait a minute. Johnny D. Jackson? Isn't that the guy I saw in the news in 2016 before this whole shit happened? The guy that won the Medal of Honor?
Yep. Even the Distinguished Service Cross for saving his friends under heavy enemy fire from the hilltops of Afghanistan. 1 to 5. All on his own. As for my mother, she always took very good care of me and my little brother. When Dad was away, she was a school teacher in my high school. As well, helped me with my homework when I had problems with school. And other complicated things that happen over there. Such as a bunch of bullying and, well, even harassments. I was this quiet girl that nobody wanted to talk to.
Damn. You and me both with the school problems we used to have. Unlike me, though, I used to get in trouble a lot. But hey, at least you had it a lot easier. But as for me and my mom, Not much. What I'm trying to say in a gentle way is... You're really lucky to have a good life. Unlike me, though.
Indeed. You're so right. Anywho, after my father left the military, he taught me everything he had learned. He first taught me CQC, then he taught me how to use a gun, and how to survive just in case something horrible happened. And he could have been so right. He...
Whoa, Rebecca! Calm down. Calm down. Come here. Just let it all out. And slowly tell me what happened. Okay? Just take a few deep breaths.
When the zombie apocalypse started, a horde of zombies attacked my home. They killed my mom. When my dad realized what happened, he grabbed his gun and he got me and my little brother out of the house as soon as possible before it was overrun. But Dad got bitten. And as the zombie horde was getting close and closer to the gas station where we were at, Dad made the decision to sacrifice himself to save me and my little brother. He was fighting against the zombies. They eventually overwhelmed him. I could still hear him.
That's really horrible. I'm so sorry for your loss. For the both of them. You should have never have gone through that. Even your little brother. You know how my mom was shot by the communists. She used herself to jump into the line of bullets. Just to save me. Just in time for me to get my gun. Last thing she said to me was, I love you. So much. I took my mom's body with me. I couldn't leave her there. Last thing I saw before I left the house was a bunch of those damn red bastards around my neighborhood. Destroying everything they see.
After the zombie apocalypse ended, I was looking for a job. Eventually, I worked at a really good paying job at a restaurant. At a restaurant it was called Lovito's. Just to support my little brother. But then I had to deal with this World War III bullshit now. But at least I got my brother out of there with me. And that's how I met you guys. But after the zombie apocalypse, me and my brother truly felt alone. But when we finally met you guys, we found a new family. Well, thank you for cheering me up, Scout. You're a really good man. Your mother would have been really proud of you.
Thanks, Rebecca. Your father would have been proud of you, too.
Guys, holy shit! Come take a look at this! Kai is glowing! Like an angel!